Anthony Harvey here with a Ursuline softball player profile on YSN. I'm joined by senior Emily Holland. Emily, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And man, senior year, has it snuck up on you a little bit considering that we missed 2020 and really it's only your third year of softball at Ursuline?
It definitely has. They told us freshman year that it would really go quick these 4 years, and especially missing last season. It's crazy that it's here already.
What's it kind of like going through everything this year and trying to take it in and realizing that almost every time you do something, you might be doing it for the last time as an Ursuline softball player?
It's really crazy. You know, the other day, one of the assistant coaches told me, Emily, it's okay to smile. You only have 30 days left of high school softball. And that has really stuck with me. So I've just been trying to take everything, like I'm really taking it for nothing for granted and just having fun with this year.
And it's hard not to have fun with this year, with the way you guys have been playing.
Oh, yeah.
Before this weekend, you're undefeated. Unfortunately, the loss yesterday ruined that undefeated season. But still, what an amazing start you guys have had. What's it been like this season, going through everyone that you've played and being able to conquer all the challenges that you guys have faced?
Together as a team, we've just been really confident and we just keep rolling day in, day out at practice. We know what we have to do. In that loss yesterday, no one wanted to see it happen, but in a way, it's a good thing because once you get knocked down, you have to learn to get back up, and it's only going to help us for playoffs.
What has been your approach inside the circle this year as a senior? You know, you got a year off and you're a lot different than you were as a sophomore. What has been your approach attacking hitters this year inside the circle?
I've just been trying to go at them, just believe in myself. And I know my team's behind me, not only offensively, but defensively too. So it takes a lot of pressure off of me and Paige in the circle.
Yeah, what's it like pitching when you know you have a lineup that does not struggle to score one bit? So there's really no pressure on you to be perfect or go out there and shut everybody out because you realize if I give up one or two runs, our team's going to score four or five. So what's that like for you as a pitcher?
You know, I always strive for perfection, but it's nice knowing that my team's going to score runs. We always know we're going to hit, we're going to get on the board. So it does take away that pressure to always be perfect, but you always want to.
Yeah, you get to hit too, though. I mean, you're in the lineup, you're hitting well. What's that feeling like to kind of come up to the plate and realize that you can help yourself a little bit too?
It's awesome. I love hitting. I love being at the plate. It keeps me in the game, really. If I have a bad inning pitching in the circle, then I know that I'm in the box and I'm just going to hit the ball to help my team out.
A little bit ago, you guys got to have senior nights at YSU softball complex. What were the emotions of that like? It wasn't the end of the season. You still had plenty of games to go at that point. So what was it like kind of going through that emotion, but still knowing that you had a big chunk of games left at Ursuline?
It was really different. Usually, senior nights by the end of the season, and you know there's not that much time left. But this year, we still had half our season left. So it was really cool knowing that. And everyone was sad, but I was like, hey guys, we still have a lot of games left with you. It's okay.
And what have been some of your favorite memories when you kind of look back at your 4 years with Ursuline softball with the program? What are some things you're going to look back on and say that these were my favorite memories?
Definitely the Myrtle Beach trips we took. Those are so fun with the team. We only got to go freshman and sophomore year because of COVID this and last year. But those are so fun. And then Run Rolling Mooney each year was really fun too, sophomore and senior year. Those are probably my two favorite memories.
I mean, you went through so many games this year before you guys had to play 7 innings. Was it hard to, once the meat of your schedule got there and you were starting to play teams that gave you more of a challenge, was it hard to gear up for a whole game and realize that teams can fight back a little bit the first couple of times that maybe a team pushed you to seven?
I wouldn't say it was hard, but it was definitely different. I think me and the girls realized we really have to stay in those games for 7 innings. We can't afford to take an inning off and then get right back into it, which we learned from playing some of those hard teams.
Was there a moment this year where maybe it was in practice, maybe it was a game where you guys just realized that this was something special? It was better than great. It was just something that you guys could really put together and something really cool was happening this year.
I don't know if there's a specific moment that it happened, but I just think overall we've all learned that we really do have something special and nobody's taking it for granted right now.
Yeah, and looking around and seeing the seniors that you guys do, but also the underclassmen and knowing the talent you have, what kind of expectations does that lay on you guys? I know everyone around you is talking about, state championships, this team is talented enough to get there. How are you guys handling the expectations that comes with how well you guys are playing?
We're kind of just feeding off of it. A lot of people will ask, like, how much pressure is on you and how scary is it? But there's really no pressure, and we take that in stride. Everyone at school, like the teachers, the students, they're really behind us. So we don't feel any pressure, and we're just going to keep rolling.
One of the things that I thought was so cool, your coach tweeted this out last week when you guys got the number one seed back in the state of Ohio, the number one ranking. And he texted you the leaders, and the leaders texted him back and said, "Who cares? We still have work to do." Is it ever hard to not look at those rankings and care about the fact that you're number one? Or was that always just, a side note? It's cool, but it's not what we're worried about.
I think it's really always just been a side note. Like, it's a huge compliment, and yes, it's cool, but we know that's not the definitive answer. We know we have a lot of hard work to do to actually be number one in the state, but it's really cool and it keeps us motivated to stay on top.
Tournaments are coming up. I mean, what's this team have to do to get into that even next year, which has got to be scary to everyone else to think that Ursuline has another gear to go to. But what's it going to take to get to that next gear and run through this tournament and get to the goals that you guys want to get to?
I don't think we've played our best game all around yet, which is really scary in my opinion. But I think as a team, we just have to stay confident and stay together. And we all know what we're capable of. So just stay in the games and get it done.
And I love that you say stay together because your team chemistry is so tight knit. And I know a lot of teams say it, but like you guys, when you're playing, you can really see it. Everyone's there for each other. And it's kind of unique in high school because it's hard to put, 12 girls on the field and have them all back each other. You guys have that. What did it take to get there and how special is it to be a part of?
We just, I don't know, we just all clicked at one day and we hang out outside of school, outside of practice. Coach Fernand has us do a lot of team bonding, which has really helped. And it's just really special. One girl strikes out and everyone's in the dugout picking them up. Like, it doesn't matter. So it's really fun.
Talk about Coach Trunan and what it's been like to be under him the last 4 years and what he means to you, not just as a softball player, but as a person as well.
So I met Coach Fernand probably my seventh grade year. I started playing with his team in the summer, and then I started going to him for hitting lessons. So not only as a player has he made me 10 times better, but also as a person. He's always teaching us life lessons whenever he has a chance. He's just such a great person. And he has pushed me so hard. He's always known since my freshman year what I can do, and he just pushes me to get it.
We all get to see him on the third baseline, doing what he does during games. But what are some things about Coach Fernand that maybe people don't get to see that you think that people should know about him?
In the game, he might seem like he yells a lot, which he does, but that's really just because he loves us. He wants us to do our best. I think I don't know, people just don't see how he is. He's always, like I said, teaching us life lessons. He tells us jokes all the time. He tries to keep practice light and funny, but also pushing us to be our best. And he's not only making us better players, but better people too.
Yeah, I've talked to some of your teammates and they tell us that he's quite a jokester, that he can make you guys laugh on the spot. Now, you as a pitcher, I'm sure there's times when he has to come talk to you. Is he the kind of coach that will tell you something just to get your mind off of what the situation is? Does he tell jokes in those meetings?
Not usually when we're on the field. Usually when it's timeouts like that, he just tells me how confident he is in me and keeps me going on the mound.
Talk a little bit about your future. You are signed on to play at the next level at Old Dominion. What's it like? What was your recruiting process like? And what made you kind of settle in on that choice?
The recruiting process was long, it was hard. I kinda committed pretty late for my age group, but with COVID, like, so many things happened, and when I went to Ohio Dominican for a camp, I just fell in love with the campus, the people, everyone there, not only the softball team, but the students there are so welcoming. You would pass people on the sidewalks and they would say, "Hi, how are you?" Like everyone's just so outgoing. And then Coach Van and Coach Gambone there, they're just gonna push me to be my best. And the team was so nice too.
You see more and more kids nowadays trying to find programs that are on the downswing. They can go there and make an immediate impact and try to change the culture. But Old Dominion, not on the downswing at all. They are a very good program right now, having a lot of success. How exciting is that to you to watch what they're doing this year and know that you're going to be a part of it next year?
It's so cool to me. Just yesterday, they won their conference championship. So to see that, it just makes me even more excited to get there. I love winning. I love being in a competitive environment. So I'm just really looking forward to it.
And you guys at Ursuline play, like we said before, a really tough schedule. How prepared do you think that is going to make you for having to step into that next level of college softball?
It's preparing me a lot. I'm forced to face adversity in the circle and I'm forced to hit against good pitching too. So I just think overall it's really going to help me.
Everyone in softball loves pitchers who can rake. So I got to ask you, what's the better feeling, hitting a home run or getting that big strikeout?
Oh, that's a hard one. It's really a different feeling, I think. Like, I don't know. I love hitting, but I also love getting that big strikeout that the team really needs. So I think it's kind of a tie.
Pitchers are always, knocked on for being superstitious or being kind of mental cases. Do you have any superstitions or any routines that you have to stick to or it'll throw off your whole rhythm?
Yes, if I don't eat a banana before every game, I would not wanna be around me. I can tell you it throws my whole game off. There's times where I'm texting my mom right before the game to bring me a banana, like, I just need it. So, yeah.
The banana, that's great. Way to fit into the stereotype of the superstitious pitcher. That's good. What's it like playing home games at Stambaugh Stadium and getting, you know, you're not going to go into college not knowing what that atmosphere is like. You play on a college field as your home. What kind of advantage is that for you guys, and how special has it been for you?
It's so special. We are so spoiled at YSU. It's just so nice there, and then for big games when everyone comes out and they really fill that place, the environment's just so surreal almost.
With all these player profiles, we like to give the player the chance to kind of thank their support system and the people that have been there for them over the years. So I just want to give you the time to thank whoever it is you would like to thank.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my parents. They've been with me since I started playing when I was about 4 years old. They're my biggest support system. They push me to do my best every day. And then really my teammates along the way have been a huge part. One special one is Jordan Keneally. She was a senior my year that I was a freshman. And not only was she supportive that year, but she's been supportive ever since then. I send her a text after a game and she's there. And then my coaches, especially Coach Fernand, he's always believed in me and pushed me to do my best.
A couple of things before we let you go. What about Ursuline makes you so proud to represent that school system, proud to wear the Ursuline across the chest and represent those colors?
Ursuline is really just a family, not only on the softball field, but as a school community too. You go out and you're either in your softball uniform or wearing an Ursuline sweatshirt, and people will come up to you and be like, "Hey, I graduated from Ursuline," and you really just meet them. Everyone's so outgoing, and it's just a huge community, and that's what I love.
One of the things that stands out to me when I look at Ursuline athletes, and no matter what sport it is, their community outreach is just top notch. You're always seeing out going out to food banks or whatever it may be to make sure that the community outreach is special. When you do that kind of stuff, what does that do for the team, and what does that do for you to go out in the community and help the people that might need some extra help?
I think it's awesome. As a team, we volunteer at the food bank at Zion Lutheran Church, and we do that all summer. We didn't get to this past winter, and the girls really missed it. We just love meeting those people. And then we also have our Strikeout Cancer Weekend every year, and it's really just taught us what people go through. We get to hear from survivors while honoring people that lost their battle with cancer, and it's just teaching us those life lessons that we can carry on forever.
This year's Strikeout Cancer Weekend was just phenomenal. I mean, you had a lot of teams there at McCoon Park, almost a sense of normalcy with a bunch of people being at the same spot. You guys had a couple of really good games. What was that weekend like for you guys as a team to kind of I mean, have a little bit of sense of normalcy back into the season, look around and see 10 teams in one spot and almost a summer ball type feel to it.
Yeah, it really felt like a travel tournament, which was really nice. Everyone on my team plays travel ball, so I felt like we all thought it was just normal again. And you see people from other teams that used to be your teammates, and you get to say hi again and watch them play. And we didn't have that for like this past year. So
Do you have any softball players that you looked up to as a kid while you were trying to get your passion for softball? Any maybe high school players that were in high school when you were that young, or players you watched on TV? Anyone that you looked up to in the softball world?
definitely Jenny Finch. I always watched her. I went to one of her pitching camps when I was about 8 years old, and I still remember going, and I still look up to her today.
I don't think you'd be a pitcher if you didn't say Ginny Finch. That would
Yeah.
be blasphemous. Emily, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us this week. Good luck with the rest of the season. We definitely think that good things are coming for you, and good luck in your future endeavors as well.
Thank you so much for having me.